Okay, so we're going to make a basic table. So here I am in Access. I've opened it up. You can see it's opened. There's that working file. And I'm going to go over here, and this is what I can use to check through all the different types of objects that I can make. So here is where I select to look at my queries, to look at my forms, reports, and such like. But obviously, the first one I need to have it set on is tables. So there I have it as tables. Your menu system here might not be pinned like that, so you might have to go over here and it pops down, and I can pin it here like that, and then I've got all my options for creating stuff here. So there's tables. I can hit create a table, or I can hit it in design view, but let me just hit this just to start us off, and this is what the table looks like. Now, tables are one thing that you really do need to make sure that you are recognizing the difference between a spreadsheet and a database, because the tables are the fundamental thing that store the data. We do all kinds of processing on the data using other things like forms and reports and queries. The tables are just a store of the data. But what we need to make sure that we do with the table is that we create a table that contains just one kind of data. Those are called entities, a data entity. So it's a kind of thing. Okay, so your tables are used to store all the data about one kind of thing. Okay, now a table is made up of lots of different fields. The fields are, in this case, the columns here. So the fields store one particular element of that entity. Well, okay, let me just back up a second. So what I'm talking about is an entity. Let's say, for example, in this case, the entity we're talking about, the unique group of things that we want to store data about, is a customer. This table is going to store data about customers. Now, that's the whole table. So now what fields do we need to make? We need to make a field for every different little element of data we want to store about a customer. So we might want to store the customer's name, their surname. We might want to store their gender, their email address, and all those things. Those are all fields. Okay? So let's put those fields in now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch modes. At the moment, I'm in table view. I can see that here. Yeah, they call it data sheet view. And I'm going to swap over, so I'm looking down here in the corner, I'm going to swap over to design view. I could also select my views here. Okay. Now, when I change it over, it's going to ask me to save. So this is the first time to talk about file names. Really important. Put a little prefix, little thing that comes before all of the objects that you're creating. It just means that you have a better idea when you look at them in a list what kind of object they are. So TBL is the prefix for a table, and then we have to follow a few rules when we're naming these things. First rule is no space. So we're not allowed to put spaces. I'll explain in another video why that's the case, but we're not allowed spaces. The other thing is, in order to be able to sort of clearly see the name of this table, we're going to capitalize it. There's a few other rules, but we'll come to them in a second. So this one should be called TBL in lowercase, then customers. Okay? Take your time to get those things absolutely spot on. Okay? TBL customers. There we go. We've hit save. So now I've got this list of all my different fields and data types. Okay, I'm going to fill these in the next video.